Today's topic is habeas corpus, and this is an important legal term that comes from the Latin. It comes from the laws that we inherited from the British. And if you take Spanish, you might want to think about what the verb haber means, and I bet you can figure out what corpus means.
Habeas corpus ad subjiciendum sounds like one of Hermione's spells. But this Latin phrase, usually shortened to habeas corpus, and sometimes known as the Great Writ, names an important legal principle that protects individual freedom. Habeas corpus literally means you may have the body. Ad subjiciendum means for the purpose of subjecting him or her. The implication is for the purpose of subjecting him or her to examination before a court. Where this principle is upheld, no one, not even the president, monarch, or anyone else in power, can detain someone illegally. Once a writ has been filed, they need to bring the detainee in question, their body, before a court and allow that court to determine whether or not this person can legally be held. If there is no legal case for imprisonment, the prisoner has to be released. The practice goes back as far as the Anglo-Saxon period, but it only formally entered English law in an Act of Parliament in 1679. Habeas corpus ensures that no one is held without charge. That's the idea, anyway, though some countries, such as Britain, which introduced internment for suspected Irish Republican terrorists in 1971, and the USA, in relation to suspected terrorists held in Guantanamo Bay prison camp, have found ways of circumventing this on grounds of national security.
After the draft riots in New York City, President Lincoln suspended the writ of habeas corpus, or your right to trial before imprisonment. The police locked up the protesters without a trial. And opponents of the president, who were mostly Northern Democrats, who also opposed Emancipation Proclamation, they got really angry and said Lincoln violated the Constitution, that he was a tyrant or a dictator. And there were a lot of negative political cartoons about Lincoln and this issue at the time. So in this cartoon at the left, you see Lincoln drawn as a criminal, and he looks unpleasant, like he's up to no good. And he's started a fire of all sorts of American laws. And you see a sort of George Washington figure on the right, made up of laws in the Constitution, stomping on the fire to put it out. And at the time, Lincoln was also commonly drawn like a devil. The president said the Constitution gave him special war powers. Well, who was right? You have to check the Constitution to know for sure. In fact, in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution, it says, "The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless, when in case of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it." And privileges are like your rights. So think about the older you get, the more privileges you have. We say voting is a privilege. So you have this privilege of the right of a trial by a jury of your peers to meet your accuser in court. And we can't take that away from you unless in case of rebellion, war, invasion, for example, or the public safety requires it. And Lincoln argued that not only was there a rebellion, the South was rebelling against the Union, and the draft rioters endangered public safety, so he could suspend habeas corpus. At this time, a lot of these Northern Democrats who were anti-Lincoln, they started an anti-war movement. So they said this war has been dragging on too long. There's too many casualties. Lincoln is taking too much power. He's a tyrant, and we should end the war whether we can get the South back in the Union or not. And they were nicknamed Copperheads. At the time, on the copper penny, there was the head of liberty on those pennies, as opposed today where it's actually Abraham Lincoln. And the anti-Lincoln folks, who were nicknamed Copperheads, would cut out the copper head of liberty from the penny and turn it into a stick pin and put it on their lapel, in the way that we see a lot of people wearing flags or other pins on their lapels today. But of course, we know that a copperhead is also the name of a poisonous snake. So in this cartoon, you see these opponents of Lincoln drawn as copperhead snakes. And oh my goodness, they seem to be threatening that lady. Who is that lady? It looks like she has a shield and sword to defend herself. It says Union. She's in some sort of goddess-looking dress, and she's got a tiara with a star. She looks like she's in danger. But her shield says Union. In fact, that shape of shield is often called a Union shield. That, dear students, is sort of the goddess of America. And her name is Columbia, and she's the very embodiment of liberty. So this political cartoon is saying that these copperheads, these Northern Democrats, they are the traitors and they are endangering liberty. So if you remember back to the Gettysburg Address and why the war is important, that liberty and equality are worth fighting for. And in fact, this figure of Columbia, sort of the personification of liberty and America, goes back to our very founding. And our first unofficial national anthem was Hail Columbia. And we'll play a snippet of that.
Hail Columbia, happy land, any heroes heaven command, fought and led in freedom's cause, fought and led in freedom's cause, and when the storm of war was come, enjoy the peace your brave won.
It sounds very old-fashioned to our ears. Oops. I wanted to show you some images of Columbia, and you can certainly, if you look at this on your own, link to a little article here, and look to see what she has in common. That sort of stocking cap that she has is called a liberty cap. So she often has that liberty cap, the flag, shield, a sword, a tiara. In this case, her tiara has the Union shield on it. She almost always has that shield and sword, the liberty cap, a tiara, usually with 13 stars, sometimes just with 1, and is dressed in some form of the flag. She often has an eagle with her, or in this version, she has an eagle on her helmet. And you can see that clearly one of her duties is to fight for America, to fight for liberty.